Our first day of shooting was in this. I remember Guillermo just yelling through a megaphone, "Grim determination! Grim determination!" That was the direction, and you look at it, you're like, that looks like grim determination, all right.
I'm Mia Goth.
I'm Oscar Isaac.
We're taking a look at some of the incredible costumes we wore in Frankenstein.
He starts in this quite dingy, it's like broken, there's threads coming out of it. He's worn it a lot. This is maybe one of two things that he wears, and that's it. That's all that he can afford. All the money that he's had has gone into making his home lab. The red gloves are his connection to his mother. It's, I think, also what makes him feel like he has control over himself. But yes, this is the first time we see him. He's still in very much student work mode.
It's funny because when I first met Kate, she came to my house and we had a conversation. I said to her, well, I was actually thinking that she should be quite plain and she really should just one outfit and it should just be very simple. But that wasn't the direction we
She's
went.
like, it's Frankenstein, darling. I don't think so.
But Elizabeth is very much a creature in her own way. She's very much an outsider. She has this affinity towards insects, beetles in particular, and so I guess with the patterns of the dress, this is something that they were trying to allude to.
It's one of the first things he does once he gets money from Harlander is go get a whole new lavish suit, and that juxtaposition between the gallows and this brand new suit that he has is pretty funny. This vest is so beautiful. It had these purple capillaries. They look like lungs. The pinstripes is just so over the top. It's what he's aspiring to be. We did play with a silhouette that has a more kind of 1970s Jimi Hendrix, Mick Jagger kind of thing going on. Instead of playing him as this scientist doctor, we play him as an artist that's a struggling artist that's expressive, that is so excited by marvelousness and the fullness of what life can be.
So I wore this for the scene in which I'm meeting the creature for the first time. And what is interesting about that scene, Elizabeth is so covered up and she's got all these layers on her, and as she's getting closer and closer to the creature and being confronted with him for the first time, layers of her clothing start to be removed, and it's as though she's been hiding all of this time.
But there's an interesting tension between that's your emotional truth of the character and then being encased in all this stuff. And then literally wanting to try to break free of it.
Yes, exactly.
There's something about what he wears in the creation of the creature as the way that it just becomes more and more dilapidated. We had these, there was a reference to this pants, kind of 80s punk, London punk look, which had these kind of plaid pants that we really like. So those suspenders and the way that the shirt gets bloodier and starts to look like skin. I think that's my favorite one. Also the acid stains from the batteries on the pants. Well, interestingly enough, this is the first thing I ever wore. Our first day of shooting was in this. And I think what the beautiful thing that we see is, the devolving of Victor into the creature. As the creature becomes more human, Victor becomes more and more monstrous. So by the end, he's covered in furs, hobbling, the last shreds of ego holding on to dear life before that dissolution. You can indulge in the costumes of Frankenstein now.
On Netflix.